just it's one of those things. Volume does matter in a position like this. So we'll see if he's able to do anything about that. He is going to get marked up from the EE1D, and Nave, he flies in, gets the shotgun kill. Diffuser will pop one, but this case is going down.
And NJR with the coverage. This is looking so clean for DarkZero, Beaulo, and NJR to make this an unwinnable situation for Gavin. And that is it.
We're gonna have Spirits here. He's constantly getting marked up by those Jackal pings, and trying to hold on to yellow for right now. We've seen this constantly from C9. Somebody in this position making sure that there's always a body around to try and take these aggressive fights, but not capable of winning it out this time around. We saw some success last time from Spirit in this position, but as of right now, it's DarkZero across the board, just taking it to C9. Down into the 5 versus 1.
Pretty incredible start for DarkZero. Not only do they have the Inox tracking Spirits on yellow stairs, also briefly had the Deathmark tracker at the beginning of that. Nafe trying to cut off yellow. Basically, that entire attack was focused around trying to pinch Spirits yellow and then take down any player who tries to support him from either the bottom or the top of the staircase. Both teams heavily prioritizing that. Works out in the favor of DarkZero completely. Deimos will then go in for the kill. Flawless round to start for DarkZero. Kobe with the finisher.
Pretty big gun there for Scopos, but that thing, decent recoil, decent damage. It's just a solid, rifle across the board.
Yeah, so I'm not complaining. I believe we saw Gunnar briefly place one of the robots down in the basement, the other obviously moving around the top floor, so could have tried to switch to it and go for a flank later on. That seems to be kind of the case. Either you set something far away off the site for you to flank later, you set something on the site so you can rotate back very quickly. Scopos not involved in the first engagement, though she has lost 12 HP. It's a trade between Gavini and Kobe.
They're waiting for this wrap from Pamba here. You can see him working his way through the map. Might be trying to go for play around yellow. They do still have to worry about that Scopos downstairs as well. Let's just beg the question of how DarkZero tries to deal with this. We see the bees come out. They have effectively dealt with that vending position, but now we see the wrap from Pambazu. It's going to go up Spiral instead. Is trying to get that side angle here, but it's going to be Diffuser that ends up taking him down. This is once again going to put DarkZero back into the same hole they just were.
Yeah, very, very stark contrast to the strong performance in round one. Nafe will try to retake that position. Diffuser in an increasingly difficult spot. The second flashbang lands. Nafe will try to move in, but he somehow still gets that kill. Incredible headshot from Diffuser, but it's traded out, and that puts DarkZero and C9BC in the equilibrium. Timing neither favoring either side, too. Gunnar will play aggressively, spots one, who puts NJR tantalizingly close to death. 5 HP and no utility. Nafe will throw out the flash at Nafe. Maybe can bait the Grim. NJR's Diffuser. Doty, the only player on the coverage, knows Gunner's trapped in this position, backs off, anticipating the wraparound, but that gives Gunnar a very nice gap. Impact goes wide, won't take down the Grim. NJR can fight back, but not effectively. With Spirits working in tandem, BeastCoast answer back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really what you want with that op.
Yaga, not Citizen.
Yeah, it was Yaga, you are correct. But yeah, that's exactly what you want with that operator. You want, those positions where you're able to kind of thwart the immediate game plans of the offense, but nothing really readily available on a map like Consulate. No, we did see that kind of extension downstairs. That's probably the best you're going to get. So the first minute expended, DarkZero starting to work in from the farther reaches of the map. Kobe mostly focused on the front lobby space. He'll nade open one of these castle barricades and try and assist himself with some more angle work after he gets this beautiful revolver out of its holster.
Trying to hunt down that castle, move forward, but Gavini effectively evading all this. Kobe shut down. Pambazu 2-tapped outside of Visa. This roam from C9BC, quite impervious to the efforts of DarkZero. Beaulo's got a flash in retreat. Kind of the opposite of what you want with Blitz's utility usage, unfortunately. Things have really gone awry if you're using it as an escape mechanism. Hot and cold will fall, so things not terrible for DarkZero, but BeastCoast are really... This is a tricky spot. I'm not sure entirely what you do here. Beaulo will wrap around, and that Spirit's gone. 3v3, but Diffuser able to reestablish that advantage for BeastCoast. A very hectic round, but one in which DarkZero seem to be constantly chasing ghosts of BeastCoast as they move through that middle floor.
Yeah, that absolutely terrified me as soon as I saw that blast from the M590 get released, but... fortunately not for Bo. He's still up and still alive. Got that frag as well, so able to at least propel DarkZero forward. or at least farther along the line than before. Going to work their way down yellow here. Case is going to be in Knave's hands. We do still have a smoke for Bo as well, so you can break up some line of sight, but it's going to be somewhat difficult with the positions that C9 still have under their control, especially with that mirror in the hallway still readily available to them. They have a lot of different angles that they can utilize to their fullest advantage as DarkZero is looking to get this case down.
Nave hoping Beaulo will be able to create quite a bit of space, throw complete chaos into the ranks of BeastCoast inside of the site. That mirror window staring him in the face. Such a difficult spot. Now that Nave has fallen, that is it. BeastCoast with the lead.
And now we come down to this round where C9 is going to be handling that middle bomb site. This begs the question, how does DarkZero handle this top floor, especially with the solid, plant denial utility that we have out of C9 BC here? You have Gavini, you have Diffuser, you don't have Gunner anymore because he went for an aggressive peek here with the castle, but still a lot of things for C9 BC to work with.
Yeah, Gunner tried to go crazy and
Gunner's got a gun. It happens.
It happens. Didn't have split. My bad. We got DarkZero one basement in the first round. The third bomb site we've seen played, first one on the first floor. Will be nice if you have to go through that upstairs clear and you can actually trade a bit more efficiently with relatively little cost to yourself. You also will have all those Dokkaebi calls available as the first one goes out. Pandas are taking quite a lot of damage, but it's resulted in established control of yellow. Beaulo cuts down spirits and, well, yeah, I suppose around the CEO position. One more player trying to hold on to control of it, but DarkZero took that 5v4 gifted by Gunner and have run with it as Gavini is pretty much stuck inside of the top floor trying to find that shot on the Beaulo. It will land. He's probably going to, I was about to say, hop out of this window and retreat back as quick as he can. Nobody outside cutting him off, thankfully, so he will. Oh, never mind. Thought he was going to find a way out. I'm not even sure what the hell downed him. But it does result in an effective 2v3, now a very real 2v3 for DarkZero.
An efficient clear here from DZ. This is a full-on just stand-in-box moment, right? They're like, all right, cool. We're going to get some bodies in on this top floor. We want to take the fight, but we want to do it efficiently. We know C9's positioning now, and we want to try and clear out this area. And, tip of the cap to everybody, but especially Bo in those positions as he's able to open that up, kind of make C9 flounder a bit as they look for the kills. And obviously, we see the initial, or rather, the late iteration of that with Gavini hopping out the CEO window and trying to make that rotation. But now it's all down to hot and cold to see what he can do up against his former squad in DarkZero. A little bit far removed from that team, especially. But hey, you always got to mark that as that is still his longest tenured squad that he's been on, which is truly impressive. But we're going to see DZ start to work their way in, especially from the closet, as they're looking to get this plant down.
And it could line up quite well for this TCSG. Does spot one, but the angle just favoring DarkZero a bit better, and Kobe will wrap around and finish it. Tie game again, 4 rounds in. Neither side able to get a lead, and DarkZero just trying to regain that ground that they lost after BeastCoast's. DarkZero, they have Lion, Amaru, and Grim. This to me indicates we are probably not going to see a slow admin clear, especially as Buck is already down below with 35 seconds into the round.
Which brings us back to Chonk there, Carter. He's a little bit better than Smoke in this position, and I know that's almost heresy to say in Rainbow Six because Smoke is one of our best defensive operators, right? But the key thing here is that he's got a lot more delay for both positions. We see a lot of fly-ins on this window here to our left. We see a lot of things from the CEO window, and Tachanka's just so very good at dealing with both of those positions in a very solid way. You got so much utility with that fire launcher. There's just not really many things you have to worry about, whereas with Smoke you only have 3. So just it's one of those things. Volume does matter in a position like this. So we'll see if he's able to do anything about that. He is going to get marked up from the EE1D, and Nave, he flies in, gets the shotgun kill. Diffuser will pop one, but this case is going down.
And NJR with the coverage. This is looking so clean for DarkZero, Beaulo, and NJR to make this an unwinnable situation for Gavin. And that is it. DarkZero retake their lead with a beautiful rush into CEO.
As for now, though, it's a patience play for them as they're awaiting the arrival of DarkZero, seeing the way that they want to try and clear this out. We'll work his way in from the front here, and he'll get that pistol out as well. More than likely just looking to see if he can find anybody to apply one of these death marks to.
Well, I found priority number one right there. He spotted the castle. He's got a soft wall right in his way. Though, if he's spotted, this castle could also just shoot through the wall in turn, but the revolver rips away those, well, not floorboards, it's on the wall, but Spirits also had a lot of HP ripped away with that turnaround by Kobe. Two different players damaged by the Deimos in rapid succession, but a third rears its head. Gavini sneaking around the corner with the Boss G. We've seen so much action from this Deimos, and yet it's BeastCoast with the initial lead, 5-4 as Pamazoo falls. Kobe goes for the close gunfight. That shotgun right around the corner. Gavini takes it, and down goes Kobe. Not finished off as the second shot goes wide, and NGR is able to capitalize off of it. Still a 2v3, though. Remember, Kobe's down up above, and NGR is on an island downstairs in the basement. Not sure where Beaulo is. He's got to have been to support. Seems he's on the opposite side by yellow. NGR's got to find a way to wrap himself out of this one, especially as Beaulo falls on the opposite side. One player in server, prone on the floor, diffuser a world away. A little bit of intel on the player on the B-bomb chassis. Here's one close to the corner, but the Vector responds in kind. And JR's got to take this fight. He's got to win it. Instead, he walks past, able to somehow slip between, spots the yellow player. There's far too much for him to deal with. It's a tie game. Broadly speaking, they'll, for the most part, be able to retreat successfully back to the side. Do still see one player all the way over by yellow. But the control BeastCoast have established, they've been able to do it relatively successfully. Dokby call goes out. We're almost reaching a minute left, and we do need to see a bit more forward momentum by BeastCoast. They still have this blitz. As their ace on the hole, you can drop them into server and quickly establish that control. They get the information on the one player contesting. Kobilax, not alone. There are players close by, but this blitz is going to make his life very difficult, especially now as not one, not two, but three players seem to be in close proximity around this blitz. They finally move and pinch Kobe. It's taken a lot of effort and a lot of work, but they've at least made it down to the basement. They've been able to keep their lead uncontested. Both the Boss G shots go wide. Blitz tries to move in. Not the one for the kill. Downed in the process. It's hot and cold instead to give BeastCoast the 4v2. But Nafe creeping up. Might just try to retake server. Out from underneath BeastCoast. Two fall to the TCSG. And maybe a third if Diffuser does not play his cards right. Nafe going for the flank again. Clinging to the shadows as best he can. It's NGR instead to try to bring things back, but he's not nearly as good with the single-shot weapons as the Brit creeping back for the retake. Both players spotted. He's got information on both. Down goes one. The other's got to come off, and he wins it on time! Insane play from Nafe to give DarkZero the lead post-swap.
That was incredible from Nafe. That was so very well done. You can't play it better. When you look at it initially, all the bearings go, oh yeah, they're going to try and maybe deal with yellow with this or something of the sort, but I would never put that on Spirits because he will just appear out of the ether somewhere and start killing somebody. So we'll see how this goes down for C9BC. They're leaning towards admin as of right now. We got Pamba over here as well as Bo. We just saw over inside of the main conference area. We'll see what they potentially want to do with this. They're going to roll it back towards site and try and hold on to vending, as well as just the main checker area. This is going to give C9BC this initial foothold as they start to work their way into the top floor.
Likely run into the hurdle that admin takes always run into, though notably there is actually, I don't believe, a deployable shield here. I mean, obviously it's not in front of the Goyo, but don't think there's any in a fallback position either. No, so Beaulo is just holding this with the vending machine. I mean, deployable shield or not, these are the kinds of positions Beaulo is really, really strong at holding. It also means that if you just tuck behind the vending machine, you obviously aren't exposing yourself to those grenades necessarily. Instead, almost all of the denial is focused on these Vulcan packs, forcing BeastCoast further into the recesses of admin. And with that first one detonated, it'll likely go at around a minute remaining. Nafe able to win a key fight down below to maintain vertical control, stop anybody from trying to maybe go for some explosive through the floor, but really I think the biggest impact from that is just that DarkZero have a 5v4 and they're keeping BeastCoast locked in admin.
And that's exactly it. I mean, you look at this timer, Carter, and it just starts to worry you, right? You feel the pressure. You're not even in the server. What does C9BC do here? Well, it's kill. They have to find a way to get in this round. They have to clear out these positions, specifically this far angle and what we see here inside of vending. They have no real capability of that right now. I mean, Blitz is getting chased by someone. What? And he makes it away. There's no way.
He turns around. He's trying to take this fight. Nate, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen anybody do against Blitz, but it's still working out. I mean, he's the only one to die. It's a 4 versus 2, make it a 4 versus 1, and it's all spirits all alone. Yeah, he's overhealed, but what's he gonna do with 15 seconds remaining? He's gonna be able to at least down one, but Kobe will clean that up, and DarkZero get the round after that complete chaos in the last minute.
Well, that will mean all clear for C9BC in this portion of the map, but still have to continue on to see if they can rub shoulders here with DZ. They're gonna be chilling out here across this mid floor as well as the top area, making sure they do have that verticality implemented, and that's the biggest thing when it comes to this bomb site, making sure you have oversight, or rather overseeing of that bomb site. We still have the blitz implemented here from Spirit. So he's going to work his way up yellow. C9BC more than likely going to work around this. We don't really ever see them just try and go on a one-off sort of deal and trying to make an aggressive launch, especially when you still have so many bodies available to you. We won't see that just yet out of yellow either. Here, still in the 5 versus 5, we're going to get our first fight, and it's going to be Gavini taking down Kobe as he tries to rotate across the vending machine. Here's that pinch coming in for the top floor. Still have 2 players to worry about. Deathmark coming out. Nave's going to get a very nice shot onto Spirits, and now a lot of pressure onto Gavini. He can't get things done, and Impact actually flies in, and it'll take him down, but we still have the pick coming in from Diffuser. It's a 3 versus 3 with a sub-minute.
I mean, BeastCoast are presenting problems for DarkZero, but they're very easy ones to solve. Gavini just face checks vending and is able to find the kill, but then walks in the middle of a crossfire. Gunner completely unaware. The vertical angle's up above. I mean, it's chaos, and BeastCoast, who are normally so good at threading it, are completely at the mercy of DarkZero, it seems. Ironically, throughout all this, Hot and Cold and Diffuser are in the site, which you think is good, but this is, again, part of DarkZero's plan. They have vertical angles up above. We'll see if they have vertical angles watching this position. They don't for the moment, and then very quickly, Nafe opens one up, has somebody right next to it to shoot through once it's open, and that's match point for DarkZero. 3 rounds in a row, and post-timeout, doesn't look like much was solved.
You have Gavini working his way in with the Ram. Beaulo, though, with a very... wow. This is not something that you really ever see out of a DC lineup either, especially under Mr. Troy Canadian's watch, right? We don't really see those aggressive swings like that off the front door, but this time around, it's a different DZ, and they're going to get a pick up there off the front panels. Well, to get that big frag, and now Kobe actually going to die on the rotation back, as C9 do have some semblance of control across that mid-floor. 4v4 here in about a minute and a half. No dope call just yet, as do remember, they ended up switching up her utility just a little bit. Those do come into play over time now. Stealing some cameras there for their 1 down member, so Diffuser will be flipping through the defensive cams to see if he can get any information that the offense should be privy to.
Thinking about, again, the dimensions of that trade, what it means. I mean, trading the Capcan for the Ace, it's certainly a trade that favors DarkZero, even if it's a 4v4. I think also importantly, those kinds of plays really have been working quite well for DarkZero when they haven't been working for BeastCoast. Gunner tries to go for spawn peaks by himself instead of the Panba Beaulo duo like we saw just now. Doesn't work out. Those BeastCoast plays DarkZero are doing just aren't working quite effectively, and can BeastCoast make it work here? With Gunner creeping up around the corner, Flashbang goes in. Will that give the game away? There's 2 different players, but he doesn't find anything for it. Just walks in the middle of a crossfire, and it's incumbent upon Gavini to just make it a 3v3. He'll move deeper into the site, spots another, but DarkZero are just shooting straighter. They're shooting better, and they might stick the landing in round 10. Spirits and Hot and Cold have both worked their way in, but because of those losses, it's only Spirits to cover this Diffuser with 7 seconds remaining. Goes for the quick pre-fire, but it's another 1-for-1. And that, my friends, hold on, is a 7-3 victory for DarkZero after 2 nail-biting wins on Basement.
I mean, what else can you say? DarkZero call up Cloud9's number. They challenge them to Consulate, a map that they've been so dominant in throughout all of Stage 2 here, and they're able to take the win. Very well done from DarkZero here. Obviously had a very solid strategy walking into this series, and I'm very excited to see what our analyst desk has to say about this.
Let's get Beaulo on the line to talk about this game. Dude, again, congrats. We only talked to you last week, but we wanted to get you back in here to talk about this, dude. When Cons came up in the pool, when we saw Cons, I immediately looked at that and thought, I don't know if C9BC want to do this. Was it just a prep game from the past 2 times they played it? Was that how you beat them today?
I mean, yeah, we have it a little bit of an advantage whenever it comes to Consulate because they played it previously, right? But I mean, it's a map we feel comfortable on, and at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. So it just worked out.
Question, and congratulations on the win and the streak so far.
Thanks, boss.
I mean, how does it feel playing this aggressive pace that with now this DZ roster that it wasn't before? Does it kind of remind you similar to kind of how what's the TSM played back in the day?
Yeah, a little bit. I think there's some glimmers of similarities, but I mean, I think I said in the last interview, when you have a bunch of gunners, when you have a bunch of gunners going on a team, I mean, you just got to capitalize on it and you just gotta. Bro, Kobe, calm down.
I'm so glad to know, because that's where I got caught up asking you this question, because I thought that feed was coming from a production standpoint, but I'm glad to know it's coming from inside.
Just the guys hollering in the kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of. That right there is just the epitome of our team. We're just a bunch of goofballs having fun in the lobby and out of the lobby, and we just float.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely looks like you guys are completely enjoying yourselves a lot more, especially in the cams compared to previous seasons. And how much of a contributor has Kobe been? Because even at the end in the winning comms, he was the loudest one, screaming, getting everyone excited. How pivotal has he been to making you guys feel a lot more energetic in your guys' games?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like the vibes on DZ has always been pretty good, but Kobe is just a different level. He is something special. It's been a blast having him here, and you just need a hype man, right? He's always talking after every round. We got a typer now, so it's pretty sick.
How many times do you guys hear float in a day?
A lot.
He literally just said it.
Yeah, I mean, he hits us with the whole vocab of all like the Xbox terms and all of that. It gets a bit too much at times, but you know, that's what we get.
All right, well, we want to let you go and hang out with the festivities with the team, but I do want to ask you real quick, with Super Week coming up, you knock off C9BC, wonderful way to get 3 points against a team that good. It's OXG, then LG, then M80. I don't envy anybody who has to face you at this point, given it's a 4-game win streak, but what do you do to keep that streak going into Super Week?
I mean, honestly, we haven't really been thinking much of it. It's just one game at a time, right? Like, as anybody should. We're just excited for the next week. More games, the merrier. So we're ready to have some fun and hopefully squeeze out some points for a top 2 finish.
And
float, yeah.
Joke's on you. That question was a trick question. You passed the quiz. Congratulations. That was exactly what you're supposed to say. Dude, thank you so much for the interview. Congrats on the win. Go hang out with the boys. We'll see you in Super Week.
Thank you guys so much. Take care.